Rangers lose 5-2 to the New Jersey Devils. And maybe, you know what? This one's a cause for celebration because the Rangers every single season, it feels like, have that stinker against the Devils. Let's celebrate that this one's in the preseason, hopefully, right? Because we all know last year, that game after the deadline. We know the previous 2 years before that, those brutal 5-2 losses. Yeah, notice a trend here, 5-2 losses. Although I don't think that game last year after the deadline was 5-2. That was what, like 7-3? My point is that maybe it's a celebration, right? I don't know. I'm trying to think of something, but this one was ugly. This one was very ugly. We have a lot to talk about with this game, and we will. So before we do, leave a like on this if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys already know, especially if you're Ranger fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload next. But let's talk about this one because the Rangers actually started off fairly decent in a way. I mean, this was just, there's a lot. They end up taking a early penalty in this one, and the Rangers, this became a theme in the first period, going shorthanded pretty much all game. I don't know if the coaches had a mutual agreement with the refs, like, hey, we want special teams to be practiced today or what, but there was a lot of penalties called in this one, and Kreider ends up scoring shorthanded from Fox to Zibanejad. Fox, which is a beautiful play here, just patience in front of the net, gives a beautiful feed over the Kreider, passes it through Dougie Hamilton nonetheless too, and that makes it a 1-0 game early. And they score a shorthanded goal. You're feeling great. You're feeling nice. The building's going for a preseason game. And I mean, penalties, like I said, being called left and right. You had that abysmal hooking call on, I think it was Burkowski, might have been. I don't know. But later on in the period, then Dougie Hamilton just feeds a beautiful puck off of the boards, and Miles Wood just drives to the net and buries this one. And I can't even fault anyone. This was just a good goal by New Jersey, and I feel disgusting saying that sentence, but it was a good goal for them, and that tied the game at 1. Only for 40 seconds later, the Devils to make it 2-1. Dougie Hamilton ends up scoring a goal because the Rangers became a theme all night, couldn't win a board battle. Yes, they cannot win a board battle if their life depended on it, and the puck found Dougie Hamilton. Dougie Hamilton, nobody on him, and he snipes that one, makes it a 2-1 game. Second period, Nathan Bastian ends up scoring from Mercer and Smith. And yeah, I think this was the one where I think it was Walensky who left the assignment there and just kind of let Bastian just walk in, score that one. No big deal, right? And then Tatar makes it 4-1 in the third period. And this one, too, just an absolutely brutal one. I forgot what happened on this one. Let me quickly see what happened on this one. Oh, yeah, right. This was the one where Fox got a little lazy on the play there and just let Tatar walk in, and yeah, he snipes one there on Lindbaum. But then Lafreniere scored a great goal shorthanded. Lafreniere getting some penalty kill looks, which we like to see. And the Rangers have been doing this thing of scoring shorthanded on all preseason pretty much, and it's good and it's bad. I'll tell you why it's bad in a second. Great, though, to see that Lafreniere goal. Beautiful defensive play there. Steals the puck, and just a beautiful move there on Vanacek. Scores that one. 4-2 game. Rangers have some life. And the reason, though, I say that it's bad is because where is the 5-on-5 production that we're looking for? I have not seen it. Have you? I'm getting a bit worried. Even though it's only preseason, I'm trying to understand why the 5-on-5 play has not looked great thus far in preseason, except for that first game. But I will not overreact here. And then Eric Holla ends up scoring the empty netter. Rangers thought they had some life, but that's pretty much the story of that. Shots in the game, 36-17 in favor of New Jersey. Oh, God. Neither team scored on the power play. Neither. 29-23 in favor of the Rangers for hits, block shots, 10-6 in favor of the Rangers. 4 giveaways for the Rangers. Or, no, 8 for the Rangers, 4 for the Devils. Yeah, the Rangers turned the puck over a good amount in this one. That's something that we'll talk about. But in terms of each player, because that's how we cover the preseason here, Julian Gauthier, 8 hits, 2 shots on goal. I was happy with Gauthier's game, honestly. I thought that he played a solid game. There was a couple chances that he got, that was pretty good. But the problem is what we've been saying for a while, does that same move at the net, and I got news for you, Goche. It's just not working. But I thought he played a solid game. He was definitely physical. The 8 hits back that up, of course. But he was definitely physical, which we're seeing a lot more physicality from him. Because this preseason, I mean, both games that he's played, very physical, at least for those. And I like the chances that he got, too. I really do. I think that he was noticeable tonight. And he wasn't really a negative in any regard that I could think of, at least. Laffy, great game for him. 4 shots on goal, 1 goal. Of course, that goal was an absolute beauty. And that entire kid line we'll talk about, absolutely great tonight. Laffy had a great game, though, for sure. So I'd probably say he was the best player for the Rangers tonight. Probably will say that. And Kreider, decent game from him, but oh my God, where the passes just... Him and Mika tonight, I don't know what was happening, but they were turning the puck over way too much. The passes weren't looking crisp. Pretty much the entire team. That was the story with this entire team tonight. But you noticed it a lot from Kreider and Zibanejad, which didn't make me feel great. So, in terms of Kreider, I'm mixed. I mean, he played a decent game. Kakko played a great game, 2 shots on goal, and didn't get any points, but I thought he played a great game. Again, that third line did. We'll jump to Hedl just to get him out of the way since we're kind of on the subject there. Hedl, 2 shots on goal as well. 30% of the faceoff dot. Didn't like that, but I did like their game altogether, and they were the only line really producing. They were cycling the puck well, getting some nice long shifts. My only gripe is that they weren't shooting the puck enough on those shifts, but again, I'm happy with what I've been seeing from them, and it's going to be hard to break up that line. The problem is, who do you play with Kreider and Zibanejad? Sammy Blais, well, he returned to the lineup for the first time since that injury on November 14th, November 17th, sometime in November, ironically, against the New Jersey Devils. And he returned, and I didn't like his game that much. He was physical through 4 hits, but I didn't really like his game that much. I mean, I didn't see much that stood out, and it worries me playing him with Zibanejad and Kreider, because these guys need someone that's going to be able to keep up with them, and Sammy Blais didn't look like he was able to keep up with them tonight, so a little worried there when it comes to that, especially if they elect to keep the third line together, or the kid line, whatever you want to call it, because or the second line tonight, but we'll have to wait and see on that. I was I'm a little worried. And Nico, stop foaming at the mouth about Patrick Kane right now, because I know that's what you're thinking right now, if you're even watching this one. But in terms of the next player, Tim Gettinger, we'll talk about. Sure, 3 hits on the night, 2 block shots. He played an okay game. I mean, he wasn't really that noticeable. Missed a couple solid chances. Didn't play a great overall defensive game. He was turning the puck over. He contributed to that. Carl Henriksson, I really didn't even notice him at all, except for when he had a couple brutal turnovers. Barely even noticed him, if I'm being honest. So we'll move on from there. Brennan Hoffman, who I noticed because I was trying to notice him, not particularly because he played solid, and it's just unfortunate that he didn't get an opportunity. I really wanted to see him play with Kreider and Zibanejad for a couple shifts tonight, but we didn't really get that. I think Hoffman needs to be playing with better players to actually prove that he's worth it, because he was playing with Patrick Udorenko and Edstrom tonight, right? Adam Edstrom, that's his name. And yeah, no. I want Hoffman to be able to prove himself here, but didn't play with the best of players. But I really do love just how much he just gets in guys' faces. He gets absolutely leveled tonight again, and he's just still in the opponent's face. I thought he played a solid game, but nothing too outstanding like we noticed in that first game against the Islanders. Patrick Udorenko, not a good game really for him. Not a good game. Was turning the puck over noticeably, and I don't think that he really played great. We'll move on. Adam Edstrom, he had a couple good shifts, actually. There was a couple good shifts where I'm like, Guy's actually playing some pretty solid hockey. I'm not going to lie, but that was kind of short-lived for a bit because there were also times where I was absolutely infuriated with his play. So, yeah, and I'm pretty sure he was the one with that beautiful move, Kevin Hayes, which is how Nick described it to me, co-host of the podcast, which, by the way, we're probably going to do an episode tomorrow or today, depending when you're watching this. But, yeah, he had a couple noticeable things tonight, just nothing really that, just unfortunate that he couldn't get on the score sheet, and there was a couple of bad shifts. Mika kind of went over, 33% in the faceoff dot. Yikes. But that's all I really have to say for Mika. I'm not going to touch too much because I kind of already did. And in terms of the D squad, in terms of Matt Bertowski there, yeah, no, he was probably the worst defenseman on the ice tonight. He was not great. He looked lost, and good thing he's only on a PTO. That's all I'll say there. Adam Fox, aside from that lazy play on the Tatar goal, thought he had a decent game, a better game than he had in Boston, but there were a couple times where I wasn't okay with some of his passes. Same with Zibanejad, same with Kreider on the power play. Some of their passes and some of their, them electing not to shoot on certain chances too, aggravated me, but overall, a better game from Adam Fox. Hayek, he was not great, if I'm being honest. Yeah, he turned the puck over quite a bit and missed a couple assignments. It wasn't really his fault for any of the goals, but I mean, he was turning the puck over way too much. Adam Walensky, he did not play a great game either. He, again, as another one, left an assignment, and yeah, that's all I gotta say there. Ryan Lindgren, decent game from him tonight. 2 hits. He played decent. I don't really know. I'm trying to think of something noticeable that he did tonight, but I can't really think. He had a couple just solid defensive plays, but that's just what Ryan Lindgren does, so I can't really highlight anything too much. And then for Brandon Scanwin, I thought he had a couple good shifts, just like Edstrom. He was kind of 50-50. He had a couple good shifts, but there were some board battles that he wasn't winning, and I think it was the Hamilton goal where he lost that board battle there that he probably should have won. But yeah, there was also a couple of shifts where I'm like, damn, this guy actually looks pretty good. He had a pretty nice shot. Also, I kind of liked a couple of things from him. So could be interesting to see, depending how much more reps he gets. And in terms of the goaltending, Shesterkin, he looked shaky a little bit. I mean, some of the goals that he let up, he probably doesn't in the regular season, but I'm sure that he's not, I don't think so right now, that he's not in full gear here, and he's still getting into a rhythm here, even though, of course, he had that shutout against the Islanders, or half shutout last start out, but he wasn't really facing a lot of chances, so this was kind of more of a wake-up game, and he played more hockey too, so we'll see where we go from here, but 22 saves on 25 shots. Not the best luck, but I can't really think of a lot of the goals that were his fault. I mean, most of it was the defense just getting absolutely torched. And then Lindbaum on the goal that he let up, same sort of deal. I can't really fault him there. And he ended up stopping 9 on 10 shots, so pretty decent from Lindbaum, but interesting to see who's going to get cut. I was confused and surprised to see Robertson got cut this early. So it's looking like the defensive situation here is coming down it's getting pretty narrow. I mean, unless one of these guys like Burkowski, which I don't think he's going to win over Walensky, it's looking like it's going to be Hayek or Jones. And I mean, right now it's got to be Jones, right? He'll probably end up playing tomorrow, so I guess we'll see. But let me know your thoughts on this game in the comments section. I don't really know what more I could add to this one. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you did enjoy, leave a like. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. Turn on notifications so you know when I upload next, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's go, Rangers.